G'day footy heads, welcome to Behind the Play. I'm Dave Zafina and I'm joined by my Mr. Exclusive himself, James Boyd.
Thank you very much, Dave. Pleasure to be here as always.
That's it, mate. Tribal week this week, Carlton v Essendon, big game Friday night. Your thoughts?
Well, I can see you're patriotic. Look at this, you practically dragged me down here.
Absolutely. You have to wear the heart of the sleeve this week. They're playing for the Madam Cup. It's a spot in the finals. They're both on 6-6. The winner will stay in the 8th. The loser falls away with the rest of the pack. So it's a big game, big stakes. Absolutely. And we've got the press conference between Ratten and also Matthew Knights. We're going to cross over there now and check it out.
Brett, you played in some massive games this season, but is this really the biggest for your club so far this season, given both clubs 6 and 6?
I think for being in the present or in the moment, I think it's a huge game for us. I think, as you can see, the season as it is with the log jam, and I think there'll be many more close games and big games there. But I think for rivalry, this is a huge one for us to play the arch enemy, and Matty's had the wood on us over the last few occasions, so it's a great chance or a great challenge for us to redeem ourselves.
Now, have you had to express your disappointment to Mark McVeigh, or is it he knows and you just move on?
Oh, I don't think I do express too much to Mark. I think if you saw some footage of him at three-quarter time, on game day, you would have seen how disappointed he was. He knew right there and then that he potentially would be missing for this week, and Mark's a very passionate young man. He's very tribal. I know he loves big clashes against Carlton, Collingwood and teams like that. So he's hugely disappointed.
Do you have any concerns, Matthew, the fact that you played last week where Carlton's had 2 weeks to...
No, I haven't given that any thought at all. You go with the cards that are dealt and you run with them, and I think there's positives in both areas, to having played last week and also to have a break, so I don't see it of any significance. It might be sort of an element that we look at post-game whether we win or lose. So it's, I don't think either team will have any excuses come Friday night. Both teams have got good lineups, reasonably healthy after a mid-season break. So it's all guns are blazing, and see how he comes out on top.
How about your boys, right? It's good to be fresh. Yeah, it's. I think some of the boys who were looking for the break. It was enjoyed a few days off to stimulate them mentally, I think, more than physically.
Matthew, for bowlers really got you a few times in recent times. Do you go with a Fletcher, or do you keep giving the task to the younger players, which is what you've done over the last 2 or 3 times?
There's probably a fair chance you guys already know which way I'm going to go. We've tended to go to youth to try and develop their resilience to play on good players. We've done it with Danaher, we've done it with Hurley on Treadrate first round, done it with Pears. So, essentially we've gone the youth. Dustin was in pretty good shape last week, however, in his first game back. So we've got the option of both with Dustin and obviously Tate as either option to go with. But I think for our future, we must endeavour to play these young guys in the key posts as much as we possibly can. I'd really love Nagel and Gumbleton to be both up at the moment, so they could be playing in the side, with Lloyd and Lucas also. So, that's probably the disappointing part about it, is we haven't got those young pyros up in the forward half playing at the moment.
I was just going to say, they tend to be high-scoring affairs, Essendon and Carlton, when you boys meet. Is it going to be another intense midfield battle, do you think?
It'll be interesting. I think the weather forecast is 12 and rain, so it might not allow us to be an open game and free flowing or a silky sort of skills. Hopefully, our touch is good. But I don't think conditions will allow maybe 16, 17, 18 goals. Maybe by chance it happens, but I doubt it. It might be 14, 15, 13, 15 goals. So,
My weatherman said it's going to be 22 and 5, Got a different weather, maybe.
There you have it, guys. Matthew Knights and Brett Ratten's press conference. James, your thoughts?
Look, it's going to be a massive game. Personally, I thought the coaches downplayed it a little bit. We're used to seeing high-scoring affairs between these two teams, but, Rats seems to think it's going to be a bit of a low-scoring scrub. So that was a little disappointing for me.
Last time these two teams met, Brendan Favola kicked 4-7, Matthew Lloyd kicked 5 goals, and the Bombers got up by 4 points in a beauty.
That was the story. Had he kicked straight, it could have been very different.
It's going to be a beauty, and I think Carlton will get over the line by 15 points.
You're going Carlton, Dave. Well, I'm going to have to oppose you there and actually go for your team, the team that you barrack for. I'm going to go for the Bombers to win this one.
More on the actual game. We'll cross now to Daniel with the tribunal and also the injury report.
Thanks, boys. In tribunal news, Essendon's Mark McVeigh has been added for 1 week after striking Jared Rivers. In injury news for Essendon, Brent Prismal is in doubt for this week's clash and may be replaced by Essendon's Henry Slattery. For Carlton's injury news, Andrew Walker and Robert Warnock are expected to be back next week, unfortunately missing the big game this week. Back to you, boys.
Thanks, Dan. That's it for this week for Behind the Play. Stay tuned next week where we preview Geelong and St Kilda. I'm Dave Zafina.
And I'm James Boyd.
And you've been watching Behind the Play.